Gabe Jenkins back with you, working on SolidWorks part number 10. Number 10 was challenging for me, to be honest with you, because the reference diagrams were really, really poorly done, and there were a lot of numbers that were either missing or were just like obviously incorrect. And so what I've done is for SolidWorks part number 10, I've taken the existing reference diagrams that I had, recreated a shape that looked like the original, and I've created my own reference diagrams using the SolidWorks software, which we're going to learn to do in a few assignments down the road. But I just wanted to I wanted to give you as much good chance as you can of cranking this one out. There's really not that much that's brand new in this assignment right here. There's a lot of very careful reading of the reference diagrams and trying to make some things make sense. I started off with a simple extrusion that looks like this. You know what? Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll have both of them at the same time, right? So I started with kind of that central cylinder right there. Then I made another one on a little wider one on the bottom, mirrored that to make another one up on top. Then I just cut out 4 holes. I made an extrusion, made a sketch on the top one, I think, and just extruded through all so that it went through every single thing. The cuts went through everything with an extruded cut. I then made, let me just see if you can see this. Let me try to make this show up a little bit better. Right, so I then took a new sketch, made a line because I was trying to basically make this feature that's coming up at an angle. I made a line that went up at the correct angle, which happens to be 115 degrees. And then I created my own plane, right? I went and I made my own plane. Let me just show you really quick what that looks like, right? So in an earlier video, which if you haven't watched, please make sure you watch it. It shows you how to make your own reference geometry and your own reference plane if you want to draw on something. If you want to draw on a plane that doesn't already exist, you can just make your own plane, which is what I chose to do here. I made a line that came up like this, and I said, I want this plane to be perpendicular to that line, right? And so by doing so, by making my plane in that way, I was able to then draw on the plane and then make a shape, which then I extruded into the main cylinder right here, right? Once that was done, I made this kind of triangular face, which you'll find all the dimensions for on this diagram right here, and then cut a hole out of it. If you look very carefully at how this hole is constructed, you're going to see that there's kind of 2 levels of the cut. One is a little bit wider and then a little bit narrower through hole that goes all the way through. So you can see it goes all the way through, right? But this one is slightly narrower than this one, right? And if you look very carefully over here, you're going to be able to see how much narrower it is by looking at that one right there, by looking at that diagram right there. Last thing I did was I cut one more time through that hole to make sure that it emptied out into the central cylinder right there, and that is the shape. Hopefully you guys hopefully you guys are able to look at my reference diagrams and make sense of this. I almost didn't put this assignment up there because I had to remake the entire thing, and it wasn't really wasn't an easy task for your Mr. Jenkins. We're using MMGS, and I haven't picked a material yet. Let's pick a material right now. What should we go with here? Edit material, and we're gonna go with galvanized steel. We'll go with galvanized steel. Why not? Oh, that's kind of crazy looking. Okay, that's what we're going with. We're going with galvanized steel. All right, everybody, if you do it just like I've done it here, you are going to find that your mass is 5107.86 grams. All right, good luck, everybody.